Got a winter storm warning northwest of the viewing area and a winter weather advisory that is now up for Newton and Jasper County early Sunday morning. This is for the snow and mix ahead tomorrow and tomorrow night. We'll dig into amounts coming up.
From efforts to curb COVID-19 to billionaires in space, 2021 has a bit of everything. Just ahead, we'll take a look back at the biggest stories that made national headlines over the past year.
News 18 at 5 starts now. WLFI Lafayette. News from where you live.
Good evening, I'm Ani Kasparian. Thank you so much for joining us. Now we're going to first start with the weather. Hey Chad, Chief Meteorologist with us tonight. Tell us, how is it going out there? Will we be seeing any rain or snow?
Yeah, we've got rain and snow in the forecast, Ani, and some mix too. But this evening, if we get any precip, it's a spit of rain or an isolated shower, just a little bit of drizzle. That would be it. Otherwise, just a mostly cloudy to cloudy sky for any activities outside for the New Year's Eve holiday. But the Arctic air is here, the storm system is here, the leading edge of the much warmer airs with this front here. So everything is kind of on a crash course, if you will, towards our area with rain, mix, and snow coming up by tomorrow and into tomorrow night. But for this evening, 54, very mild, 7, 8, 9, 52 at 10, and the front goes through the first weak front. 48 with a west wind, an isolated shower or two. And then the cooler air filters in behind that first front a little bit more. So the wind will go to the north, northwest, then the north, northeast, pick up a little bit, and we drop to 38. But nothing more than a couple isolated showers overnight. There are the lows 35 north to 42 in the south. The thing is, these are our highs for tomorrow. We're going to start to fall through the day very slowly, and that means not all rain, it's a little bit of everything. We'll show you that next.
Thank you so much, Chad. The COVID spike from Omicron continues with nearly 500,000 new cases in the U.S. on Thursday alone. Governors around the country are enacting new mandates for the new year. And as Skylar Henry reports, they're also trying to stay ahead of testing shortages.
The U.S. is bringing in the new year while facing a record surge in the number of COVID-19 cases, brought on by the more contagious Omicron variant.
If we can increase vaccination rates, we'll certainly make a big step towards next Christmas and New Year being a happier period than this was.
New York's governor is extending the state's mask mandate to February, and she announced a booster shot requirement for eligible public university students beginning January 15th.
This is how we're going to ensure that these campuses stay open. We're going to protect the health of New Yorkers, but also health of the economy.
Happy holidays.
State governors are also trying to tackle the COVID testing shortage. Connecticut's Ned Lamont has brought in hundreds of thousands of rapid tests, and he wants those in need to get first priority.
We're sending it out to the municipalities with our guidance that focus on the vulnerable, focus on the forward-facing folks, focus on people that are showing symptoms.
Overstretched hospitals are pleading that people avoid going to the emergency room for testing.
If all you need is a test, the hospital is not the right place for you.
COVID is also putting a strain on the airline industry, prompting thousands of canceled flights. And the FAA says air traffic controller shortages could cause even more cancellations. All of it adding up to headaches for people trying to get home from their holiday travels. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Washington.
And the CDC is recommending all Americans avoid traveling on cruise ships, warning that the risk of catching COVID-19 is very high. The agency is currently investigating outbreaks that occurred on several dozen ships. And now in IU Health, our NET doctor is hoping that his book will help pediatric cancer. It took hospitalist Dr. Ryan DeWeezy 4 years to write his book, Where Rainbows Never Die. It was finally published in October. The fictional story is about a journey with pediatric cancer and the emotional toll it takes on doctors, patients, and caregivers. The book is dedicated to Caroline Sims, who died from cancer at the age of 5. DeWeezy was inspired by her parents, who created the Caroline Sims Children's Cancer Endowment after her death.
I saw how dedicated they are to raising money for the charity and got behind their cause.
Not only is the book dedicated to Caroline, all proceeds from sales go to the endowment. You can get your copy on Amazon.com. And now some very sad news to pass along this evening. Betty White has died at the age of 99. White died this morning in her home in Brentwood, California. She launched her TV career in daytime talk shows when the medium was still in its infancy and endured well into the age of cable and streaming. White was a television mainstay for more than 60 years, whether as a TV hostess on The Mary Tyler Moore Show or Rose on The Golden Girls. Her death comes just weeks before her 100th birthday. We'll take a look back at White's life and career coming up tonight on News 18 at 6. And now in 2021, the country watched new variants hamper efforts to fight the coronavirus pandemic. Top athletes step away from competition and billionaires race into space. Michael George looks back at what the year that was.
More people in the U.S. died from COVID-19 in 2021 than 2020, driven in part by the highly contagious Delta variant.
If you're not vaccinated, I'll tell you flat out, you're a fool.
Vaccines became widely available, but hesitancy remained. By mid-December, about 20% of eligible Americans still hadn't gotten a first shot.
I want to give my condolences to the Floyd family.
Former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin was sentenced in June, months after a jury convicted him of the 2020 murder of George Floyd. During the trial, there was another police-involved killing of a black man in nearby Brooklyn Center, Minnesota.
Not guilty.
A Wisconsin jury found Kyle Rittenhouse not guilty for fatally shooting 2 men and wounding a third during a night of violent protests in Kenosha, Wisconsin.
I didn't do anything wrong. I defended myself.
2 weeks later, a jury in Georgia convicted 3 white men of murdering Ahmaud Arbery as he jogged through their neighborhood in 2020. In June, a condo building in Surfside, Florida partially collapsed, killing 98 people. And in November, 10 people died during a crowd stampede at Houston's Astroworld Music Festival. Later that month, a driver plowed his SUV through a Christmas parade in Waukesha, Wisconsin, killing 6 people. The nation once again reeled from mass shootings, including the deadly Atlanta area spa shootings that shed a light on hate crimes targeting Asian Americans, and a school shooting in Oxford, Michigan left 4 students dead. The alleged gunman and his parents are facing charges. From a crippling Arctic blast in Texas to massive wildfires out west to deadly tornadoes in the heartland, the U.S. faced more extreme weather. Hurricane Ida hit Louisiana as the most powerful storm since Katrina. Then its remnants brought flooding and destruction to the Northeast.
We've just been fighting all morning.
The disappearance of 22-year-old Gabby Petito and manhunt for her fiancé Brian Laundrie gripped the nation. Autopsies revealed she was strangled. He died by suicide. Bill Cosby returned home from prison after Pennsylvania's Supreme Court threw out his 2018 sexual assault conviction. And a federal jury convicted R&B superstar R. Kelly of sex trafficking and racketeering after facing accusations for decades. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo resigned in August following a sexual harassment investigation. Tennis star Naomi Osaka and gymnast Simone Biles raised awareness about mental health issues in the sports world. And 2021 was out of this world for billionaires Jeff Bezos and Richard Branson as they raced into space. Along for the ride, Star Trek icon William Shatner.
It's extraordinary,
Who boldly went where no 90-year-old has ever gone before. Michael George, CBS News.
And in the news, and next on News 18, we're telling you how we help and track down the lowest gas prices on both sides of the river. In Lafayette, the Go-Low on Teal Road has gas for $3.13 a gallon in West Lafayette. The Shell on Northwestern Ave has gas $3.23, and that is only for 1 gallon. Remember, these prices can change at any second. To keep a close eye on gas in the area, head to WLFI.com. And it's time to toast into the new year in the future and bringing in 2022. But good luck finding bubbly to celebrate with. How a champagne shortage could impact your New Year's Eve celebrations just ahead. And let's take a live look outside where it has been an unseasonably warm day. How long will that continue? Chad's here with us to answer that question coming up after the quick break. The prompter didn't change to the other OTS prompter. That's why I like fumbled that, because it didn't switch over. Okay, thank you.
You're watching News 18 at 5. News from where you live.
Welcome back. Now, people looking to pick up a bottle of champagne for tonight's celebration may be paying some higher prices. Tony Aiello explains why.
Champagne's popularity is once again popping. Sales dropped in 2020 when the pandemic canceled many New Year's parties. But the industry group UMC says sales are expected to hit more than $6 billion this year, which would be a new record. In France, some retailers are struggling to keep up with demand. Many champagne makers are not able to supply us, this Paris shop owner says. Part of the reason, grapes in France were hit with some bad weather this year, leading to lower production. And in the U.S., that's leading to higher prices.
We've seen prices on our platform go up a bit.
Kathy Leuenberg with Drizzly.com says the average price for champagne is 20% higher than in 2019, and high-end labels are in high demand.
The top-selling brands from a champagne standpoint are Veuve Clicquot, Moet, and Dom Perignon. Those have been the top sellers for the month of December.
At West Coast retailer Bevmo, people can buy in person, online, or have items delivered through the GoPuff app. On the site, a small number of specific champagnes are out of stock, but there's still a wide variety available. The company has seen increased demand for not only champagne, but also alternatives not made in France.
We've seen a 10% increase for California local sparkling wine year over year.
And while the prices for champagne may be going up, spirits are also staying high as the country raises a glass to 2022. Tony Aiello, CBS News, New York.
Now, production issues are expected to continue in France, which means champagne prices could remain higher well into the new year. And now we are back with the weather.
Your Storm Team 18 forecast. Weather from where you live.
All right, if you've got plans to be out this evening, we look okay. A lot of clouds around, a couple isolated showers, 50s, then falling into the mid and upper 40s, or 44 at 1 o'clock in the morning, 43 at 2, and then 38 by 7 tomorrow morning, with lows tonight 35 to 42. The thing is, these will pretty much be our highs tomorrow. That will occur during the morning hours. We're looking at a steady rain overspreading the area with time, late morning into the midday and early afternoon, but eventually not only will it start to mix and change to the snow in our northwest counties, but that changeover will work its way southeastward through the late afternoon and evening, and then eventually tomorrow night everybody's in some snow. This is Greater Lafayette, pinpoint right here, 38 at 9, 38 at noon, 37.3, still rain at that time, but then we mix it up. Little icy mix and snow with the rain at 5, and then eventually going to all snow, and it'll be really widespread too, 100% coverage, and the wind cranking at pretty strong north-northeast winds kicking in. So temperatures falling after that 35 to 42 high. These will be the numbers at 6 p.m. tomorrow evening. 34 at Flora, Lafayette, and Attica, but 32 at Monticello with icy mix. 27 Wheatfield with snow at that time, and snowing in Kentland about that time with 29, but raining at Frankfort at 6 with 37. Now on Sunday, some snow in the morning, some scattered lake effect snow showers for a while right up through midday and perhaps early afternoon, and then a little sun. 20 in the morning. Now I bumped up the temperature a hair mid to late morning to midday, because when you get into a lake effect plume of snow or snow showers, you do pick up a little heat from the lake, from the water. So I moved it up 4 degrees to 24 then. But once the lake effect band pivots this way over the area, pivots to the northeast, the temperatures drop back down. We're down to 17 by 5. These will be the highs, anywhere from 17 at Morocco, 18 Fowler, the 20s at Lafayette, and low 20s at Flora. Then on Monday, 18 to 28, a lot of sunshine, a few clouds, the wind turning to the southwest, 26 Greater Lafayette, and there are the highs, 18 northwest to 27 Frankfort, 25 towards Delphi. But the snow band for later tonight and Saturday night, the heaviest is here. We may get more than a foot in parts of the Chicago area, but we get a little bit here. Watch this, again, 2 to 4 inches, Rensselaer over to Morocco, Brook, Wheatfield, and north of Maderryville, Rochester, Monticello, Fowler, Remington 1 to 2, and then 1 inch of snow or less as you go southward through the rest of the viewing area, and a little minor sleet and freezing rain accumulation area wide. So here's the rain overspreading the area tomorrow. This is around noon. This is icy mix. Icy mix, that's snow. This is rain. Here we are at 3. Here we are at 5:30. Here we are at 7. There's your icy mix moving southeast, your snow moving southeastward as well. Here's 8, and then there's 10:30, and then finally we'll eventually go to all snow and some snow showers around for part of Sunday before it jets out of here. And then later next week, specifically on Thursday, we're looking at accumulating snow. Look at this snowfall event. There could be a few or several inches of snow in the area on Thursday. So winter is cranking up here, and you're going to see that in this 7-day. Look at these numbers: a 7 Monday morning, 26 Monday, 42 Tuesday, then a front goes through, then another front and a storm system with accumulating snow Thursday, and that is not a typo. Single digits Friday, and overnight lows well below 0 Friday night.